Day 47, my friends. Welcome to the channel, especially if you're new here. We got some new subs in. I make a video every day. My name is Brendan Mitchell. I am a writer and itinerant and overall just a guy that runs his mouth. I think that's probably a fine way of putting it. And I just wanted to say thank you for joining me today. We got a big lift today. We got a big lift. I also wanted to talk about something funny I saw. Now that I'm getting YouTube always tells me kind of what is suggesting my content. And I find that very exciting because it doesn't make any sense to me, which I understand. I'm making fitness content, but I'm also trying to clearly lean you into just following for my personality, right? So the fitness content is just there as leverage. It's a tool, right? Will he lose 80 pounds? Will he not? Does he live? We're all in it together, right? It's a game I'm playing. And I wanted to show you the kind of funny things that YouTube recommends my account on right now that I just couldn't. I thought it was important to analyze. Now, here is what my last video was recommended on. If you came from any of these videos, welcome. Welcome. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Now, the one that makes the most sense is, of course, surviving schizophrenia. There's nothing particularly funny about that, except under the context that YouTube thinks that people that have survived schizophrenia should also be watching my videos. I don't have a lot more to say about that, but I find it interesting that it's the #1 traffic source on one of my last videos. Okay. A chronically online girl explains, I'm learning how to read too, explains frenemies lore and why it ended. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. I never will know what that is. I don't plan on knowing what that is. And I think if you know what that is, I know that you wish you didn't. And that's enough of that. My wife watches The Other Guys for the first time. My wife hates this movie. She hates when I watch it. My wife won't watch a movie that she doesn't like or won't watch. She won't do it'll be cute if I watch something that I don't like. She won't do that. That's not, my wife doesn't play that game. Reacting to the best and worst interior design content on TikTok. Very relatable to this channel. Totally understandable. Best and worst interior design content on TikTok. Interior design is atrocious now. Everything is designed to make you feel like you are a sort of little tiny machine being placed in a box. Every coffee shop, every apartment, every house, they all look like dental offices. They're disgusting. Real architecture, I do miss it. Top 20 Korean celebs who like curvy women. Now we're getting somewhere. This is very specific information. This is a deep cut for the gooners out there. Top 20 Korean celebs who like curvy women. This isn't even top 20 curvy women who are Korean, which is when I first glanced at it, my brain translated trying to figure out what it is. And it was top 20 Korean celeb curvy women. Then I went, oh, okay, I'm processing why people would look at this. But it's top 20 Korean celebs who like curvy women. That's very specific. I don't know what you're going to do with this information. What are you going to do with this information? What are you going to do? It's hard to be a curvy woman in Korea. I can tell you firsthand. Not that I'm a curvy woman, but I know curvy women in Korea. It is hard. I do understand. The Mr. Beast member with basically 0 haters. Yeah, I don't know, man. I know people click on these things, but I don't know. I don't know. Shizzy fans has ruined the gym community. Now we're getting into a point where I actually do have to go, am I just 150 years old? First of all, this is not a proper sentence. We need a plural version of this verb here. Shizzy fans has, this is like when boomers make the joke of every time I look online, it's like Bungo's newest rap blows away all the fans of Steezy. And that is actually how I feel about this. This is just, Okay, TikTok's most hated eating channel just got exposed. Yeah, expose them. I like that. I like when people get in trouble. Escape the Night full videos marathon. Don't know. Carmelo Anthony finally exposed after allegedly buying a house. Yeah, so what a lot of people don't realize, and millennials kind of got lost in this trap for a while, is that you watching these kinds of videos is, remember how your parents read People magazine or watched Access Hollywood? You may remember what I'm referring to right now, or read the Esquire or the Post. That is this is what this is, but for your generation. Do you understand what I'm saying? This is like small-minded slop That's what it's so you click on it, you go, oh, I don't know. I'm sorry if I'm putting you down if you watch this stuff. Clearly someone does. But what can I say? Convince me this is somehow like worth time. I don't know. Smosh being comically their zodiac signs. Again, sentences I struggled to read. Turning shade into shine with Trixie Mattel. Hell yeah. Investigating the most disturbing Instagram accounts. I might click on this. What makes it disturbing? I might click on that. Ethan reacts to iDubbbz content cop. I don't know what to tell you guys. I don't know what to tell you. These are people who have based their career around, and you may not like this, all of these people have based their career around bullying other people. They may have been bullying people you think deserved it. They may have been bullying the bullies, but that's how these people made their bread. So all of them devouring one another endlessly, all I can say about it is, what a terrible way to live your life. It just seems very unfun. I vaguely know who these people are, and you know, it's a bummer that you know who they are too. College freshman uses creepy messaging app to groom minor. That's not funny. Why is this listed with everything? How far would you go? This is very vague. Well, we learned a lot today, guys. We learned a lot about our audience. Is this our audience? No. I'm pretty sure the impressions for each one of these videos is like 2 people. But when I saw this list, I was like, damn, I got to do a better job of like localizing these videos, huh? But I can't. I'm not a fitness content creator, and I'm not one of these people either, so I don't know what to tell you. Let's get into the lift. I know that's what you're here for. You want to see me be a big, strong boy. We're going to jump right into it. Jump right into strong boy. Now, today was a good lift. Like, I was strong. We're going to get right into it. I worked out, I lifted fasted today, not on purpose. Not on purpose. It's not an intentional thing that I did. I just didn't have time to eat, and I was in a rush, and I ran out of like the quick things that I could eat, like protein bars or whatever, and I just went there. I used to work out fasted all the time back when I was way younger, but I did start to feel it a little bit, not in my lifts though. I'll point out when I started to feel kind of like, goddamn, I'm missing something. But let's get right into the bench. I wasn't able to do these for a little while. If you remember from the previous week and the week before, I had to drop the weight to 155, 150. I had to do lower reps for a little while. Today, I went in there, and we'll see, I just crushed them. So let's get into the bench. Yeah, these are good. These are clean. These felt great. They felt good too. You know, and I'm focusing a lot on the form. I'm trying to get it right. Whoa, Jesus Christ. These felt good. And I wonder, sound off in the comments. If I did bring my microphone and I did bring my tripod and I didn't get yelled at, isn't this just going to be me recording grunting? I guess people do that, right? Or is this sort of like review a better format? It's certainly, I feel like it's a better format. I don't know. Anyway, I'm blazing a trail here. Oh, look at me. I'm jamming out. I'm jamming out using AirPods from the first pair of AirPods ever manufactured that they don't even fit in the human ear. Here we go. Tight. Yeah, it felt good. These felt good. I'm excited to go up. I can't wait for the day where there's 2 plates on there. I'm going to feel so good. I'm going to feel so good. Just flying out. Always trying to, contract my shoulders or whatever, like my scapula, people always say. I'm always trying to do that. I feel the tightness in my chest at times. Sometimes I don't. I am always trying to get it there. But, I mean, really happy with these. I've come a really long way from, week 1, week 2, if you go back to those lifts. And benching, obviously, my body is pretty well designed for lower body exercise. And I guess for benching, too, right, because my arms are so short, the bar path is quite short. So, I mean, I feel good about these, especially considering I'm eating at, what is theoretically a caloric deficit, 7 days a week generally. I feel good about these gains still coming along, and especially this one where I really didn't feel like I was struggling at all. This is a funny one because you'll see, was it this one or the last one? One of these lifts, I had to stop in the middle of it because my hair got caught under my head when I was lifting, and it made it so I couldn't move my neck or my arms. I don't know. I gotta get a haircut, man. It's rough. I gotta get a haircut. I really am getting excited about flipping out every time. Squats were good too. These are just my volume squats. I do them I do them every other week or whatever. This is sort of my putting in the reps, trying to get a very cleaner squat every time I do it. These felt good. It's obviously quite light. I'm able to do 10. I'm trying to control that like instinct that I have to like really hump the air at the end. I'm trying to make sure I go to the proper depth without like really going crazy on the depth. And I'm trying to feel my knees better, feel my hip knee like timing better. It's very I love squatting, but I do find that every week I squat a little differently. It's a little frustrating for me that I do that. And I'm trying to keep every cue in my head simultaneously. But realistically, you end up going there, you're squatting, the weight's on your back. Every single cue kind of leaves you, and you just end up going by kind of instinct. Glad I included this. Very good job, Brendan. Very good. But these felt good. These my volume squats never feel heavy. That's kind of not the point. But I think that I didn't rush, I didn't push through, I didn't go nuts. I lifted the weight as I was supposed to, and I focused on form, and I tried to feel things out and change if my legs felt a little too narrow, I tried to go a little wide, or vice versa. I like the idea of using these volume days as sort of like, or these volume lifts as sort of it's a test day and also a form feel day where I go, well, what can I replicate a much better form, and then can I try to use that on the heavier days? Could I squat heavy and have them look this clean if these are cleaner in theory, right? But then the downside of volume is I often end up going 10 times faster and thus 10 times sloppier, right? Which is not beneficial. But these felt good today. These felt good. It was around, I want to say the last set of these, where I started to feel a little like unfocused, like a little dizzy. I was like, God damn. I was like, I haven't eaten in like 19 hours. I did start to feel a little like, shit, maybe I should have had some food or something. Started to feel just a little kind of dazed, not weak, but dazed. Hole in my shirt. Why? Because this shirt is probably 11 years old. That's why there's a hole in my shirt. Lock it in there. Yeah, I feel like I'm okay. I'm okay here. I like the bar path seems very consistent. Oh, look at that. I added the lat pull downs too early. Guys, don't read that. Don't read that. That's not true. It's misinformation. Very good work, Brendan. Very good. Very good work. So these are lat pull downs. I'm doing them with my ass. Not a lot of people know this technique for lat pull downs. I invented it today. Come on now, sir. Okay, lat pull downs. Lat pull downs. I usually do pull ups or assisted pull ups rather, but I'm trying to branch out a little bit. I'm trying to feel it. I'm trying to feel it more in my back and not in my arms. It is hard. I do feel it in my arms. I'm trying to go not scrunch. What's the word? I don't know. I'm trying to prime my back and feel it in my shoulders as best I can, and not feel like I'm using my biceps. I kind of do a little bit. I definitely feel it, here and here, but I also feel it in my biceps for sure. I feel it in my forearms, not forearms, my biceps and my upper arms for certain. But it does feel good. I do feel something, so it's hard for me to like get upset. It's definitely something I have to work on. Accessories in general, if you've been following the lifts, are like, accessories are just something I have to work on. And my God, was the gym, it doesn't look like it from this angle, but the gym was crowded today, folks. The gym was, I don't know, how do I put it? It's a repository for all of life's darkest creatures. It's just, I don't know what to say. Heyo. I'm glad I left in my pratfall dropping the phone. Jesus. The Looney Tunes intro to this lift. Now I'm getting neurotic. I'm like, maybe it's not on. Very good that I left all of this in. Only the best, folks. Only the best here, alright? What am I thinking about? Yeah, this is another moment where I normally don't do this. I normally never pause in any way when I'm lifting. I barely wait. But I feel very like, I could feel it. I was like, God damn, I'm like dizzy. I was starting to feel the lack of nutrition. But again, they didn't feel They felt hard, they did, but I was trying to control it. I was trying to, do full range of motion, trying to feel it in my as high as I could in my back and in my arms. I enjoy this exercise. I definitely understand why every single person at the gym. There's usually a line for like 9 people for these lat pull down machines. I get it. But yeah, this is an area that I'm still kind of working on. I'm so used to compound lifts exclusively. I want to do like pendulum rows. I used to love doing those, but my gym doesn't have like the appropriate plates. My gym only has 45-pound bumper plates, and I don't want to bend over. If that makes any sense, I don't know. I don't even know what I'm saying right now. What am I thinking right now? I'm thinking, how did I let this happen? That's always what I say, isn't it? Yes, wipe your face with your shirt, with the sweat on your shirt. That's very good. That's good. What am I waiting for? Why is the camera so low? The lat pull downs are excellent today, guys. This is it. I'm lifting. This is it, And we could talk about lifting in terms of like losing weight, because I've noticed some very helpful comments. A lot of talk about diet being the most important thing. And we'll talk about that at the end of the video. I agree. That's, I'm well aware of that. But there is a reason that my videos are structured this way, as opposed to being structured around diet. Of course, the purpose of the video is it's losing 80 pounds, but, I'll get into it in a second. I did my bike. I do my little cardio at the end of every lift because you got to do it. It feels fun to do it. It's easy. 15 minutes, minute crazy, minute not crazy, like that, My friends, we got through another lift day. It went well. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for joining. There's been, a few more of you every day, and I really appreciate it. I've been seeing a few more comments about diet being the most important thing, and I, of course, agree. And I, of course, appreciate the comments. The reason I structure my videos around lifting and not dieting, even though dieting is the most important thing, is that I don't think it's interesting to eat food every day. I don't care to show people me eating. No, I don't have like something against it. I don't find it like engaging. It's not like I don't want to sit here with like a plate of chicken and eat it. I'm also not as focused on dieting as you may think. I don't eat over a certain amount of calories, but my goal is very specific. This is not my first rodeo. As I've said before, I've lost hundreds of pounds. The thing that I am doing is I am not trying desperately. How do I phrase this? My goal is not to, no matter what, as quickly as possible, no matter what happens, look like this as quickly as I can. That's not my goal. My goal is not get here fast, get here now. That's not that. I've done that before. My goal is to not look like this. This is my goal. A stock image of a tombstone. My goal is to not be dying. And if I rapidly approach the diet with an extreme emphasis on cutting calories this early on, we're trying to lose 80 pounds here, folks. 80 pounds. Not 20 pounds, not 30 pounds. You want me to lose 30 pounds in 2 months? I could do that. That's a clickable video, right? I lost 30 pounds in 2 months. That's not what we're doing here, my friends. We are making very gradual, very serious changes that are intended to habitualize the entire behavioral style that I have been with before and then dropped. I'm trying to bring it back. We're so early on that I have no interest in throwing myself deep into a cut and losing weight as fast as I can. We're just not there yet. We'll talk about stuff like that when I'm around 190, 195, when I'm below 200 and I know I'm hitting, I've lost those earlier, easier pounds, and I've got still a ways to go, and then I could start putting in the damage and doing the numbers on really crushing calories. That's another reason why the focus is not on caloric deficit. Although yes, for weight loss, caloric deficit is the most important thing. Of course, I know. And thank you again. I mean, I appreciate every comment. I appreciate every suggestion. I take them all. It's important to realize that the intention here is not speed. And the intention here is not to prove I can do something. It's very easy to lose weight in theory. I understand the practice required. This is not about that. I'm clearly doing a lot more things with these videos. I'm trying to familiarize myself with the idea of creating content. I'm trying to build an extreme habit, making a video every day, which, by the way, making a video every day is way harder than losing weight, just for the record. So there's a lot of things I'm trying to do. And the reason I like to arc things around lifting and then not lifting is because inevitably more of these videos will have less to do with lifting and less to do with losing weight. So you have this, in theory, the videos are kind of beginning to define themselves. I have lift days that are highly focused on losing 80 pounds, and then I have rest days which are highly focused on me speaking about whatever I want. And it's about slowly inundating people to that rhythm and ideally not losing everyone while I'm along for the ride, right? Everyone while I slowly transition out of being a weight loss thing. That's kind of the idea if we're talking about long term. And I don't really think that far out, but it is kind of how I'm beginning to perceive the whole. So yeah, I like to have lift days. It's more fun. It's engaging. I like lifting. Lifting is more fun than not eating. To really break it down into its principal component. So a little bit different today. A little bit different. You know, I'm in a good mood. I'm having a good week. I'm not maybe as hilarious as I could be. I look this way. Isn't that enough for you? I just realized when I laughed, my hair like moved forward and freaked me out. I can't look at myself. We're having a good time here. And we're going to keep going. We're going to keep moving on. I don't know how my hair looks now. I can't see it, but we're going to keep this in. Thank you all for coming once again. It's important to keep your goal in mind, to work towards your goal, but to do it with a sense of grace and measurement. I am more than capable of chopping off one of my limbs to lose 15 pounds in 1 minute. But it would not be helpful to me in the long run. Now, would it? At the very least, my wife would be very confused. Do you understand what I'm saying? Thank you very much. I hope I see you at one of the streams. Another thing I'm kind of throwing into the mix, throwing it out there, chilling out. Very, very different than making videos. Very interesting learning curve for me. Come by, say hello. I'm live often enough now, or at least I will be. And thanks again. Have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow, if not later, at a stream. Thank you so much. Day 47.